Hi there and welcome to the AV.com YouTube channel. My name is Tim. Now 2024 has been a very busy year for the guys at JBL. They've released their all new range of MA receivers and we've shot a video on that, so if you're interested in those, go check that out. And also at the same time they've launched the Stage 2 series of loudspeakers, and this video is going to take you through some of the features found on these. Now, JBL is a brand that needs no introduction. James B. Lansing, the initials is the name of the company. He founded the company in 1946 in LA, California. And what started as making drivers for cinema speakers is now a massive global company. You've got Bluetooth speakers, gaming headsets, party boxes, home audio equipment, home audio loudspeakers, studio equipment, you name it. This is a company steeped in sound and heritage. And you now can have a chance of bringing all of that audio into your home by combining the Stage 2 with the new JBL MA receivers. So before we get into it, please do give us a subscribe and a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and means that you don't miss out on any of our future content. Just as a qualifier, when I say they're a huge global company, get this, JBL say that they have made 200 million headphones and 100 million portable Bluetooth speakers. That's quite incredible. So let's look at the technologies on the Stage 2 speakers. Let's start with the tweeter. All the models feature a 1-inch anodized aluminium tweeter, which is rated to 25 kilohertz and takes care of those higher frequencies. There's an acoustic lens in front of the tweeter, which is there to improve directivity above 10 kilohertz. And it's surrounded by the famous JBL HDI horn or waveguide. And this is in their synthesis speakers and in their studio speakers. It's very synonymous with the JBL brand. And what it does is it helps improve directivity and reduces diffraction. So what you end up with is a really nice soundstage and one that sounds really good off-axis as well as on-axis, which in home cinema applications is particularly important. Moving to this mid-bass driver, that's made out of a polycellulose material, which is a pure pulp construction, which is combined with other materials to make it a very rigid driver. It's got this rib design on there as well, which is in the higher end JBL models and looks really good. I have to say, I do think these are speakers that are definite grills off speakers. With regards to the crossover in these models, that has been improved. They've picked out really high quality components. I just want to emphasize that on the floor stander behind me and the center, those are 2.5-way designs, and the crossover is slightly different in the sense of that driver underneath the HDI waveguide is crossed over just below the tweeter's output, and the second driver below that is crossed over at a lower frequency, and that just gives you this really dynamic mid-range as well as having really good strong bass, which is what JBL is known for. It's bass that you should hear as well as feel. So let me quickly take you through the range. I haven't actually got all of the range here today. There's 6 models and 2 subwoofers. So there are 2 bookshelf speakers. You've got the 240B and this is the larger 250B. And then there's 2 floor standers, which is the 260F and the 280F. Behind me is the 260F. There's then the center channel, which is the 245C. And then there is the Atmos 240H height modules that you can see behind me. Finishing up, there's 2 subwoofers, a 200p and a 220p. They are a 10-inch and 12-inch model. And the speakers come in what JBL are calling Espresso and Latte finish. So this is the Espresso, which has got this black front and this nice darker wooden effect finish behind. And you've got the white finish and the lighter wooden effect on the Latte finish behind me. So I'm not going to take you through all of the specifications on each speaker. Please do visit av.com if you want that information. But what I do want to do is just highlight a few really cool features that I think you should be aware of in the Stage 2 lineup. And the first of those is design. Now JBL brought these out at the same time as their MA receivers, and there's a clear design narrative between them. So you've got a black baffle on the front of this finish and a white baffle on the finish behind me, and that perfectly matches the MA receivers, which also come in white and black. And the way that it sort of has this floating baffle effect at the front, which stands slightly proud of the speaker itself, is also echoed on the receivers. Each of the Stage 2 speakers come with a really nice high quality grille, which is magnetic. And down the side of the grille is this JBL orange accent, and that's also mirrored on the MA receivers. So really close link between the two. Now, I'll just pop that on there. Now, the other thing I want to highlight is just the front of the speakers. The JBL horn here and this nice trim ring around the driver means that there's no visible screws on the speakers and they look really clean and crisp. Now, on the 250B bookshelf that I've got here and the 240 bookshelf, they both have a flared bass port on them. The floor standards, however, have got a dual flared racetrack port, and that's needed because of the bass that both of them provide. The 260F is rated at 40 Hz and the 280F goes down to 33 Hz, so there's quite a lot of bass to handle, and that port just means that it exits the speaker and gives you a nice tight bass. On the top of the floor standard, there's a really neat feature for linking the 240H Atmos module. So at the bottom of the speaker, you've got your normal speaker terminals, but then you've got an additional Atmos one just above that. So that wires to your receiver in the normal way. And then you can do a little link cable between the top compartment and the 240H on top of the speaker. And this means that you don't have to have a cable draping down the back of your speaker. So that's really cool. Talking about the 240H, it's a really versatile speaker. So obviously, as you see behind me, placed on top of the floor standard, they can do upward firing Atmos duties, and they do that really well. And there's a really nice mat provided to give you a nice solid connection to the top of the floor standard. But on the back of the 240H, there's a little switch, which if you flick, you can flick to the surround position, and then they can actually be wall mounted and used as height surrounds. So that's quite a cool feature. A quick tour of the subwoofers. As I mentioned, there's a 200p and 220p. They're rated at 150 watts and 250 watts respectively. They're a 10-inch and 12-inch model. And around the back, they've got everything you'd expect. There's two twin rear-mounted bass ports and then all the usual controls for crossover frequency, auto standby modes and volume levels. Also worth mentioning, the bookshelf models, the 240B and 250B, have a matching floor stand in black and white, and it looks really good on those. So how do the new JBL Stage 2 series sound? Well, I've taken the 250B into our showroom and listened to them as a stereo pair. And then I've listened to this full set in surround sound applications. And they sound awesome. It's that classic JBL sound. The presentation is very lively and it's really forceful. There's good pace and good attack. And that HDI horn just lends itself really well to home cinema applications. Like, it can really flood the sound field, and it does a good job with making a really wide soundstage, which in cinema envelops you and is really appealing. When the action gets going, the vocal is crisp and really easy to hear. When you're listening in 2-channel, they absolutely love dance music or high impact music. It's been a while since I've been in front of a speaker that presents sound this way. It's so forceful and powerful, and it's really, really enjoyable. So they are thoroughly recommended, and they partner extremely well with the MA receivers. I think JBL bringing out the two together is a really good idea, because this is a brand that is trusted in music venues and commercial cinemas globally, and now you have the option of bringing that entire JBL system home. It takes out some of the difficulty maybe matching electronics to speakers. You can have JBL and really enjoy it. I also want to mention that as well as matching the JBL MA receivers to Stage 2, they've actually Tomba matched these speakers to their architectural range. So if you pick a JBL pair of ceiling speakers rather than the 240H to do Atmos duties, then that will be perfectly fine and it will sound really, really good. So there you have it, the new JBL Stage 2 line of loudspeakers. We hope you found this fun and informative. If there's anything we didn't quite cover off, then drop it in the comments box and we'll answer it as soon as we can. If you want to find out any more about these speakers, they're live on av.com, so go and check them out there. You can give us a call and our experts will be happy to help and answer anything else. And of course, you can visit us in our showroom and hear these wonderful products. So I think that's everything. Until next time, keep on grooving.